Hi all, today we're going to be reviewing a game that was recorded at the regional licence exam held at Patriot Games in Sheffield. With me I've got Scott on commentary. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing good, Murray. I'm really excited to see this game. Got Dean Newell playing Recovery Girl on Life, and Jack Pearce playing Tetsutetsu on Good.
Oh, this should be interesting. You also ran Tetsutetsu for that event, right? On Earth, I believe.
I did, yeah. Unfortunately it wasn't a very good day, but we'll see what Jack can do on Good.
Hopefully it's a better time than what you did, mate. So what do you think about this matchup before, just having a look at the characters? Two 5-handers, who on the lower end of 30 health, with a bit of damage mitigation / health gain on each side.
So, I think it's going to be a tough game for both players. Both players have kind of got the same game plan. They're going to want to build that wall and then go from there. Recovery Girls can easily come in with pokes all day long, making everything a throw. The only problem there is Tetsutetsu's once per turn is going to stop that from happening. Tetsutetsu, obviously, he gets the +4 damage, but he also kind of wants to play the poke game until he gets his Tetsu Thrashings built up in his discard pile for a big attack run.
Right, let's dive into the game and see how the players get on then. Right, so we're joining this game just as it started. Mulligans have been done, they're happy with their hands, and the game's underway. Looking like the Tetsu players won the dice roll and just gets a simple wee free build. That's a bit unfortunate as a 5-hander, I guess. Know what you want to see at the start?
Yeah, well, at this point for me, without Mulligan knowledge, I don't know what's happened there. Whether he's seen attacks first hand. Three's the best he could get. So how it goes.
Looking like a 4 build, maybe a 5 for the... Oh, okay, he's just thrown a card away at the end. I guess with Recovery Girl, you'd rather have that free diff in the bin. Well, if you take a poke off the Tetsu player, that then gets to come into play.
Yeah, like, I've not seen much of Recovery Girl, right? But, like, this ability, it's something else for me. Like, you can bring things back in.
Well, you've got some experience with games against Johnny Cage in the past. Standard times when he was able to do it, but he definitely didn't have the health gain built in or the ability to make through.
No, he did not.
So, Tetsu player came in here with a hardened chop. Simple E, if you block, then you discard a card. Recovery Girl's already setting up to not block this attack with a bench press.
Yeah, and like the Tetsu player here is coming in pretty big. Like first attack, 5 low for 10 so far. Discarding that card for damage with the discarding the public support. So yeah, it's coming in. Taking no prisoners, but like I say, I don't think you've got that luxury of playing small pokes against Recovery Girl.
There we go, man. We see a Foundation Straight coming back into play. It's the 3 that they tried to play. I'm not sure I'd have used the note taking here. Like, the Recovery Girls already bench pressed the attack, so they've kind of accepted they're not going to block it, or at least they're going to partial at the worst. It looks like they hit a 2 on the new training method.
I mean, that's not too bad. You're wanting to see your Tetsu Thrashings in the bin.
Definitely worse times to hit that 2 check than your wee build.
Okay, so Recovery Girl does her form, gains 2.
Might just be a lot of grey in his hand there. For what we can see for the camera angle.
Yeah, so coming in for a second, but like I say, is like this Recovery Girl wants to build that wall.
So, kind of in a way that he had the hardened jab there by checking that face down, right? He already knows he's going to be picking it up in a second. Passing the torch to draw a card though is an interesting one.
Yeah, like so I think from there, like he's got grey in his hand and he's just digging for attacks. I think he wants to hit Recovery Girl pretty hard as possible.
Definitely one way to win this game, right? You You just kill the recovery girl as quickly as possible, try and mitigate the damage dealt to her.
Definitely, mate.
The additional cards as well, it helps like fuel that Tetsu. Recovery girl also drawing a card here.
I think it's an interesting way to play passing the torch. Obviously, the way we play passing the torch isn't as aggressive. The draw, like it's normally a defensive measure. You can go to 0 cards and they'll be happy that you can draw 2.
Very much like, as you were saying about it, might be the Tetsu player just try to dig past the grey. I'd have happily took the second build turn, dumped my hand on the table, had that passing the torch. See them coming in the game with Tetsu and public support being discarded. Public support's just such a nice wee addition for the Tetsu decks on good. Well, there we see the power of Earth, right? He's just cycling through these face downs, it's constantly drawing. And you can't exactly call this a poke anymore, it's 4 mid for 10 damage.
But again, like, that's what Tetsu does. I know it's 4 mid for 10 damage, but it is still kind of like a poke. The way I play Tetsu anyway, it would be a poke.
See Recovery Girl building a bench press, I believe that was, a discard pile. Just going to be future health gain. Not a bad wee turn, right? Following up with 2 foundations. Not sure I'd have triggered the Specialist Sound there. Like, I understand Specialist Sound's ability, like, when it hits the discard pile from check, you get to see the next card. But you're kind of giving a wee bit of information away about the top card of your deck at the end of your turn.
That could just be an automatic reaction.
It could be. But I guess he does have like a Destined in play. We've got a Future Charge. This is a card that I definitely didn't rate highly when set 1 came out, but I'm starting to put it in a few more decks.
It's not a card that I would think about playing.
Tetsu using that plus damage ability just to empty cards out his hand.
Yep. I don't notice any other discard tech in his staging area.
Kinda curious, right? If you were already comfortable that you were going to be discarding this card for the Tetsu ability, why not just try and build it? You'd have been building on what, a 6? If you checked well, you checked well. If not, you went to the bin anyway. We see 2 rigorous training getting built there. That's an extra 4 health gained, and Recovery Girl's basically back at full. This is ridiculous. But hey.
It's Recovery Girl doing Recovery Girl at this point. Like I say, it's going to be a tough nut to crack.
Tetsu player considering if they're reviewing or not. Just drawing up. What's squinting at the camera to see if we can see hands. We need to get some sort of hand camera set up in the future.
We definitely do. Hand cam would be.
Starting off with a back alley.
This card is so good. It just does so much.
Some would say it does too much.
Some would say it does too much. But stun 2 on there, you can either draw a card or you can build. With the EX. And in Tetsu, I mean, you're coming in 9 damage with the discard. Such a good card.
Recovery Girl making early use of a release there to put training, not a new training method. I can't remember the name of this card. The Deku Heal 2 on response build card. I will remember the name of it later. Releasing early to put one of those in the bin, and it somehow didn't deter the Tetsu player who still pumped the damage. Oh, they're going to pump speed as well with E.
Yeah, he did have 2 momentum, so yeah, he's pumped at 4 speed. Coming in 8 mid for 9.
And both passing the torches to draw cards.
He sees blood.
And then passing the torch sees the discard pile thanks to self-sacrifice. Oh, and evading copy. That's back to 4 speed, man. That's rough.
Tetsu Fist. This is another card that does so much in Tetsu, like...
Yeah, but this one's at least Tetsu in hand, right? It isn't just everybody in, like, a granny slamming a Tetsu Fist and all that.
No, you're right. But it's going to get the +2 speed, because you're going to pop that Tetsu in hand, so you build and draw.
Yeah, it just does so much, man. And I think that's another public support that hit the discard pile there. I don't think he's responded with. Yep, I think he's missed that response. Self-sacrifice coming in for a wee minus damage. Covergill just has access to so much simple destroy abilities that are going to be able to recycle these. Relentless training, I want to say?
Rigorous.
Rigorous. I think it's rigorous training. There we go. Fuck him in with the knowledge.
I have no knowledge, mate.
But yet again, this Tetsu attack's always back up to like 6 mid 8. Not small numbers getting thrown about here.
No, but like you need bigger numbers. I think one of the biggest issues that I had playing Tetsu was that everything was a mid. They're all pretty slow.
Yeah.
So having things like the Tetsu Fist gives you that +2 speed that helps so much.
But it's a good thing Tetsu decided to stop attacking her. That was 2 frees they checked back to back on their build turn. Nice wee to the rescue. It responds to Seal Foundation when you play a punch attack. But Recovery Girl's gaining some health again, and she's back to 24 health, man. Like, at a certain point you need to start wondering, is it even worthwhile coming in for pokes?
Well, this is what I was saying again at the start. Like,
yeah.
I don't think it is. I think you need that string. But again, you're not wanting to just rest on your laurels and build. And it's a difficult one to call. I'm not in the driver's seat here, so you have to just play it as you see it. That's what he's got in his hand, and he's got to play it.
Looks like the action tracker missed a Tetsu there, because he discarded a card, and the only thing I could think of is pitching it to the Tetsu for damage. Just setting up, having access to that, the easy minus, or reduce the damage to one ability.
This confuses so many new players. Yeah, I'm just going to discard a card and my attack is +4 damage, and they're like, can you do that? And I'm like, yeah, so I'm just paying cost.
We've just seen both excited for blood responses used here in the one attack, so he lose 2 life to draw a card and then flip to gain 4 health back to lost life. Don't know if I'd have popped both early. I feel like this game might come down to who sees the most cards, given the fact they're 2 5 handles. Time will tell.
I don't think I've seen the Tetsu player pop as once per turn yet.
No, I think both turns the Recovery Girl came in, she's only came in with 1 attack. So it's the first attack he seems to be discarding a card to get down to having 1 card in hand to be within threat range of it. And then just builds. There's not been a window for it. To the rescue, sealing that wall climb. I think the Tetsu players hoping to have a go turn here. Removing that defensive piece. On the defensive piece off for a turn. Choosing to draw a card with back alley. Releases put the excited for blood in the discard pile so that Recovery Girl can build it again at some point.
Again, we're seeing that passing the torch used aggressively.
Yeah, man. Not 100% keen on the way he's showing that the release has been used. I'd rather he used like a bead or something. It's kind of like halfway between committed and not.
Yeah.
As long as the players know what's going on, that's ours. EX on this back alley, making it 6 mid 9. We've seen the Recovery Girl take 10 damage plus and just mitigate some of it instantly by building the rigorous training. There's only so many times you can willingly accept 9+ damage attacks. Tetsu player coming in with a self-sacrifice, pushing it to 10 damage.
Yeah, the Tetsu player's no messing about. Partial here.
Yeah, half blocked on an 8. That release coming in useful. Just so much defense in play.
But then I'm wondering if that's just information being given away. Does the Recovery Girl have mid blocks?
Well, we did see them build the wall climb last turn, so they could have been relying on these off-zone blocks. just to have the wall cling turned off this time. Brazilian in hand for the Tetsutetsu player because they're drawing every chance possible.
Yep.
Um,
Don't know if you want to block this.
yeah, only having 2 in hand's rough here. Like, maybe you choose to block this so that in the next attack you pass on the torch, draw 2. Like, there is double release in place, so they could block for days at this point. Oh no, they're choosing to pass on the torch now.
Okay.
They'll be left with 1 card in hand after blocking.
I don't know if these players know that this says if you have no cards in hand, you can draw 2.
Maybe maybe their versions don't. Oh, well, turns out they did have the mid. Maybe they're just electing to half block. Well, they could have just drawn the mid, actually.
Could have.
Or maybe they're electing to half block to keep getting the build through recovery guild here. There we go, we see a rigorous training coming back. And recovery guild's still at 20 health.
Ah. All these attacks are massive. Absolutely massive. Damage, 9 damage. I feel like we're getting nowhere. I'm no biased at all.
Sitting over here with your Tetsu flag waving. Recovery goes back to 22. I wonder what she'll end this turn on. Does have a recovery girl's kiss in place, so that's an extra wee bonus one. And this back alley might fetch another. Might even just be used to draw a card. But it turns out they're committing the recovery girls. Probably a good choice, like everything else in the staging area actually does something useful. Yeah, back alley to draw. I don't think we've used the back alley. Seen a back alley used build yet?
It's not something that I do, but I wasn't running many 0 diffs.
Recovery goes making this a throw, so it's guaranteeing the damage. And the extra player's choosing to try and block anyway. I think that's a second thrashing in the discard pile now. Either the second or the third.
Just needs to draw that one, mate.
Yeah, that's it, all you need is the one. Recovery goes just gaining free health with this naval laser cannon. Naval laser charge.
Gain more health.
Oh, this will be speeding the Tetsu ability.
Or for discard or for mitigating damage?
I'm assuming it's for the mitigating damage. The discard ability's been used all the way through this.
Okay. So Tetsu's sentiment on hero.
Yeah, there we see it.
Yeah, legit.
Kind of feel like the recovery guild should have just ended the enhanced stat instead of autumn with self-sacrifice, right? Like, it's your priority on E. Your opponent's already passed. But you choose to self-sacrifice, giving them that extra window to reduce with Tetsu.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. If you've got that, if you're not going to really be doing much, +1 damage isn't really exciting at this point. So yeah, like being able to just push through some extra damage.
Yeah, there've been 5 damage opposed to it. Especially since they were only following up with a future charge. If they had something bigger, maybe they'd have been using it to get out. But at least like recovery guild's in the turn with like a grip of 4 cards. 3 cards. They just found it out a second ago and too quick for me to count.
So here's this wind up punch. Haven't they played on a 5?
So as you were saying before we started recording, it's kind of like a build your own back alley in this deck, right? Because you only get stun 2 because you've discarded a card.
Yep.
You're just missing the speed bonus, which I feel Tetsu wants more than the powerful 3 since you're getting powerful 3 off the thrashings anyway. I would love to see the Tetsu deck list because he must be playing upwards of 10 5 diff attacks.
Where's the valiant assaults? That's what I want to see. Like, so many punches happening, and like,
Well, I think his deck is mono punches.
yeah. So like, where are they? The card's going to do so much for you. Like, you're discarding cards. Drawing 2 is just gravy.
Here's the first thrashing we've seen thrown all game.
Tetsu thrashing coming in. So like, this point of do we have Recovery Girl's got enough cards in hand, so we're going to be seeing more.
Yeah, definitely 4 cards in hand. Board is mostly tapped out as well. So player gets to know he's building a 5 or checking a 5 next.
A big comment. 10 here. 10 for our next one. We could have game here.
Yeah, it's totally not unreasonable to think a couple of these back to back. We know there's another one sitting in a discard pile.
Yep.
Not sure I would have chose to keep up the high value target over the release. I think the release is better for the long term. Especially since we see the high value target instantly here. But we do need to factor in on each of these attacks, Recovery Girl will probably be able to.
You know, I totally forgot about it. Yeah. Got these heals. Do have the stun ones.
I feel like against anyone else, this would be it. This would be like the writings on the table. Okay, so we're not getting the +2 damage from the Tetsu ability, but we are building instead. Means we don't know what our next check is. We did discard any means necessary there, so we get a draw. That should be grey, not white on the action tracker. And then we see the second one from the discard pile go back to that.
Okay, so was that a self-sacrifice there as well?
Yeah,
Plus
just
1
push
damage.
that damage. 4 mid 9. No option but to take it, but 2 health gain back. Looks like he hit a 3 there.
That's unfortunate.
Probably the correct choice to fail the thrashing and thin it out. You don't want to commit Tetsu, especially against someone that's sitting with 5 momentum. Must be some sort of powerful in that deck.
I mean, there's an interesting choice there as well. Putting the thrashings. So momentum dumps are
Back alleys and Tetsu Fist.
Tetsu Fist got powerful. Yeah. So
It looks like he had the 4th Tetsu thrashing in hand.
again, he failed the check. So. Well, I didn't fail it, but
I guess the argument for putting him into momentum at this point, in his last turn, is his deck is looking incredibly thin. So if he's going to cycle, probably better than in momentum where you can get him to discard pile a little bit easier than being back in deck. Same again, we see the Recovery Girl come in, 2 attacks, simple pokes.
yeah, it's getting right down to the wire here. 60.
Well, incredible. I guess the Tetsu still being ready here was the game maker, because I'm pretty sure I just caught a glimpse of the 5 diff 4 mid for 4 Deku attack with powerful 4 from Recovery Girl's hand. Tetsu had been committed in that last attack turn, that surely would have thrown the game now. I am going to look up the name of it while we watch this Tetsu play on Mulligan. I believe that when it's blocked, you get to add a foundation from your discard pile to your hand. But obviously, that's not what Recovery Girl would be caring about. Should have been coming in for the damage. Forceful blow. 4 mid for 5 with powerful 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just clocked the artwork of that from Recovery Girl's hand.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go, man. The Tetsu Fist being played out. We've seen the any means necessary and being discarded to the Tetsu Fist E being resolved backwards by accident. But it's a tricky one, right? Like, you discard a card, so you then respond with any means and draw your card first. You end up going draw, build, draw, instead of going build, draw, draw.
Okay, I totally missed that. Is that what happened? He went build, draw, draw. So I feel like if that's how he's been playing that card like the whole time, he's doing himself a disservice. So many things that you can set up if you play it properly. So yeah. The build, draw, draw, not optimal.
It's not what you want to be doing.
We've managed to get this up.
Not very fast, but I don't think the powerful was really for the damage here. Powerful would have been for putting those rations back in discard pile. Hardened jab, having to play through the breaker, but it really doesn't matter. This is like the perfect follow-up attack. That committed foundation is just going to get replaced. Yep. Well, no doubt he will be seeing some good stuff. His deck is built on the symbol.
Recovery Girl at 2.
I think it's 2 in hand, right? We've seen her play 3 cards last turn. 2 cards last turn and block. But there we go, she's partial and with the forceful. Definitely not where you want to be with Recovery Girl, right? That's probably a win condition.
Builds in that rigorous chaining once again. Oh, starting to hate this card.
Yeah, it basically reads that Recovery Girl has -2 damage on all her attacks.
Yeah. Not as partial.
Next we Hardened Jab here again, just replacing the foundation that was committed for itself. Interesting that he discarded an attack card there. Tetsu player must be feeling that this is either the end of his string or he's coming in. Like blocking with a face shield. On the correct zone though, so no need to use the response. Unless you really just spike that Hardened Jab. You'd be putting the face shield in the remove from game pile one. It could be useful later, but I do think the Tetsu deck is like 90% mids. A handful of low. But that looks like a, capture evildoers. And then with a form. This is Scott's first time reading this card.
This is my first time reading this card. Wow.
And following right up with a Tetsu Thrashing, this is not looking good for Recovery Girl. Even with the 2 health gain back on pretty much each attack dealt.
Wow, that was smooth. That was smooth.
The Thrashing coming to hand. The only concern here is like the Tetsu player's also low on cards in hand. I think both of them were at 0 for that there.
Oh.
Passing the torch did help.
That's just for pumping the damage. Do the next Thrashing.
On 6, I think it's a formality here, right?
Not necessarily.
The only damage redux that Recovery Girl had was the Cell Sack. No cards in hand. Yeah, that's what I'd have done, pitched the deck and Thrashing. And we see game 1 go to Tetsu. Right, on to game 2, and weirdly enough it looks like the Recovery Girl's chosen to go second here. Don't really understand the decision myself, but the Tetsu player gets a rough opening build, only getting 3 again.
Yeah, choosing to go second when you're down a game. I mean, I think it's a bit crazy, to be honest. You need to be coming in. Remember, these are timed rounds as well.
Well, that's a good point. Like, most of their time has been eaten up already by this point. You're electing to go second in a game that you really need to win.
Yeah. This style of deck I don't think lends itself to playing to time.
Yeah.
You need to be winning game one and going from there. So I definitely wouldn't be going second as Recovery Girl.
The Tetsu players taking a second build turn here. That's them at 6 foundations, the number that I'd like to build turn 1. And Recovery Girl also coming in for a second build turn, but only getting to 5.
Pretty sure you could build 6 with a 4-hander. No.
Probably, mate. Just make Artifice Avarice Lego again. There is first attack of the game. We back alley.
It would be interesting to know how many back alleys were played at that event. Like,
Oh yeah, that'd be a great statistic.
so good. The amount of earth and good decks that I'd seen like throughout the day.
Getting a draw off that any means necessary, just replacing the cost of the Tetsu. So good. Looks like Recovery Girls used one of the bench presses already. I can only assume that they're planning to use the second one at some point here. Yeah, there it is. It must be nice knowing that you don't need to block, right? Like, you just took 9 damage, you're going to heal 4 back from bench presses. Looks like she's played a recovery time, that's up to 29 health. Back alley effectively done 1 damage.
Tickled.
And it looks like a carbo loading's been built. I guess that's definitely one way to go on the offense. There's some carbo loadings in play. It commits itself to give +3 damage, and when you gain health, you ready it. I think it also can commit other foundations. Tetsu player making a decision here about the second card to play in the turn. Wonder if they'll. But here we go, they're coming in again. Probably wasn't the best idea hitting that 3 there. Mostly tapped out, but I guess you're not really seeing any offense from the Recovery Girl, right? So why not just. As long as you've got Tetsu ready to protect yourself with a powerful attack. She needs momentum for in the first place.
Yeah, you've not seen Recovery Girl come in yet as the big thing. He's just been playing those pokes. I think yet is the big thing. I don't know if I would have passed that myself. I think I probably would have failed in the last turn.
Committing 3 things is pretty rough, especially when, for argument's sake, you don't need to be dealing damage here. You just need for that final whistle to go.
For some people, it's knowing the spirit of the game, though.
True.
They don't have my mindset on things.
A win is a win, right? I'm not saying take the piss, but as long as you're playing at a reasonable pace, you're not the one that's sitting here gaining multiple health each time. As Recovery Girl goes back to 26 health. And seemingly just taking another build turn.
That's an interesting way to play, but you can only play with cards you've got in your hand.
Yeah, exactly right. It can be a 5-hand problem where you're just not drawing the orange. Or just not drawing the correct orange.
I'm hoping that we see some backswing here for Recovery Girl, like hoping that doesn't just lay down and die. A bit of fight would be good to see.
Clock is definitely ticking for us. She needs to pull something out of the hat here. Just in about curious how many back alleys were played at this event. I'm curious how many back alleys were played this match. Like,
both players running it.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if we've ever seen a card as polarizing back alley. It is an ultra staple in all its symbols. You need to have an actual argument for a good reason not to be playing it. We've seen some pretty busted stuff in the past. I don't think back alley's that level, but I do think it does a bit too much. And absolutely everywhere. Here we go, half blocking again. Going to take some damage, but going to get to, no doubt, build a foundation and maybe gain some of it back. But it doesn't look like a rigorous is in the discard pile yet. Bench press will need to do. Bench press is fine, right? So it's going to give you life back when the attack hits. Get to ready your carbo loading. Seems fine, man. Especially being able to make any attacker throw. Following up again with a Tetsu fist. But it looks like they just gained a health in here and readied that carbo loading. You know what, maybe I'll take Tetsu to that event that's coming up for us soon. I really enjoy playing Tetsu.
I really enjoyed playing Tetsu as well. I just bricked, I think, on the day. Wasn't seeing what I needed to see. And I'll be honest, I expected some easy wins. I expected to catch people out, and that didn't happen.
Yeah. But here come... Oh no, it's being used as a partial again. I just feel like recovery girls having to spend so many of their attacks on defense that when it comes around to their chance to come in, they're just not happening for them.
Right, this is it. Like, I feel it. Recovery girl is coming in with a big turn. I can feel it.
We at least see one attacking hand, maybe a second. We can get something started with this reverse throw.
I mean, let's play throws.
Which she does, right? Like, if it's not a throw, she makes it a throw.
What was that, a back alley that
Yeah.
they've just drawn as well?
Still seeing these aggressive passing the torch being used. Breaker 1's going to be a wee bit up on the side. But also not getting the draw the reverse throw. Definitely feel like a window was missed here, like they could have carbo loaded that attack and then got to ready it with the health gain from bench press, but and it looks like they've had to use carbo loading here to pass the check.
Fair enough. Be able to.
Well, it can't be fixed is built the top card of the deck. Must be curious, must be concerned about deadlock, right? Because they only used one of their can't be fixed in response to the stun 2.
I don't know what the recovery girl's running that.
Deadlock? We haven't really seen anything, right?
I don't think so. But then we've not really seen the full makeup of the deck.
True, we haven't seen the entire deck list. But she is on life, right? So there's a chance she could be playing focus attack. That's got a big scary deadlocky, but not all of her attacks have been mid so far, so I'm not sure I'd be concerned about it. Okay, 2 attacks landed, get some momentum. Passing over to the Tetsu player.
Tetsu doesn't review. At this point, like, I build.
Yeah,
I build.
I think he's doing some maths to see when it's possible. But it looks like they're in time on the round, I guess. Rough game for recovery, though, but Tetsu wins 1 win and a draw.
Yeah, unfortunate again for the recovery girl, but they just couldn't have seen anything, and they didn't have enough time to snatch a draw.
Right, so having a quick look at the stats. We had a recovery girl built 36 foundations. This is for actually playing a foundation and her ability. And we've got Tetsu who built 29 yet again for his attacks that were able to build foundations and just naturally playing. It's weird, I'd have really expected these numbers with these characters to be a wee bit higher. 36 foundations over the course of, what, 1.5 games? If that is still a lot, man.
Yeah, definitely, but like, with her ability, you're gonna be...
Oh yeah, it's like a foundation per attack, right?
Yeah.
Having a look at attacks, the recovery girl player was definitely in the back foot. In less attacks than the Tetsu player.
Yeah, it just backs up what we were saying. Like, maybe she just could find enough orange. Tetsu throwing 19 attacks. Take down Recovery Girl.
19 attacks, right? So we only seen them play, what, 2 or 3 attacks in that last game?
Yeah.
So that would have been like 15, 16 attacks in game 1 to finally take down Recovery Girl.
Insane. Like, and a lot of those attacks were partially blocked as well. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't like full block, but
if that was anybody else, they'd be dead.
I think it's quite telling here as well, like, about how little pressure the Tetsu player felt under. When we look at blocks, yeah, again, there's 10 blocks of difference between them. Only 3 blocks over the course of like, a game and a half. Of course, you've got the Tetsu ability you can fall back on of like Nuke gets 1 attack's damage. Can you imagine walking away from a game and thinking, I only blocked 3 times, but walked away winner?
No, unless you're winning turn 2.
That's it. These weren't exactly 2 Tokiyamis playing against each other where the game's over in 10 minutes. It was, these are 2 5-hand health tank monsters that are like throwing down here. See the Tetsu player almost double the amount of enhances that the Recovery Girl player got to use. I think this is because the only enhances Recovery Girl really used was release and self-sacrifice. Passing the torch.
Yeah, but then that'll come down to attacks as well, like attacks versus.
Plus, there's a lot more ease going on in the Tetsu attacks, I think. Start with, like, Tetsu Fist has 3 possible ease that you'll use on it.
Yep, 4. Well, on Tetsu Fist itself, 3, because you've got the powerful.
And then if you're using the character and stuff, it's... Responses are definitely skewed the way I thought they would go. Like, Recovery Girl basically gets to respond twice on each attack. Responds on taking damage, and then responds with rigorous training to heal 2 health back. I think the Tetsu player only used their character's response once in the game.
The response is a tricky one. It can sometimes be a trap. Against Recovery Girl, you don't want to debuild yourself 1 unnecessary. But yeah, so he would have just, I think he would have just sensed that as he was playing.
Checks passed without committing cards. Roughly about the same here. Tetsu player looks pretty rough when you think about it, right? About 50% of your checks you had to commit.
The Tetsu players playing a lot of 5 diff.
Yeah.
That's the issue. That's the issue there.
You kind of see that replicated in the cards committed for checks. 28 cards you had to commit throughout those games to help pass the checks. Only 18 on the Recovery Girl side. But I think a big factor of that can be release. Release helps mitigate you commit 2 cards, and looking at some attack stats here, with the fastest attack on each side, we've got 4 speed from Recovery Girl because it's mostly throws.
Yep, don't need speed.
And the Tetsu, thanks to that EX2, got up to an 8 speed attack.
Tasty.
What I talk tasty, we've got a 15 damage as greatest damage.
Yeah, man.
Sadly, didn't connect. Then for Recovery Girl, greatest damage was 6, and I believe it was the Zero Gravity Lift.
Yeah, that's the 6 damage. It's no doing anything. So 9 attacks, 6 damage is your greatest. Tetsu's got to be able to reduce 1 to 1. I mean, that's saying that these are all played in the same turn.
So we have additional cards. This will be cards that have been added to hand for abilities or cards drawn.
Those passing the torches.
Those passing the torches. A lot of cards here, man. Like 11 cards on the Recovery Girl side, and then a whopping 26 on the Tetsu side. I'd kill to walk away from a game and think, yeah, I drew 11 additional cards.
I'm pretty sure that you've drawn more than 11 cards in most of the games that you've played.
I know. I'm always happy. Like, this is why I'm always happy.
So on to the next stat, right? This is a beefy number. 72 health gained.
Flash damage mitigate. Or damage reduced. There's 1 or 2 self-sacks through in now.
Right, so let's say for instance, right, we're talking, let's say 22. That was the game 2.
Yeah.
Roughly. I'm just throwing a number out, I didn't count it. That's 50 health.
Well, Recovery Girl definitely gained more than 60 health in game 1.
Yeah.
Tetsu had to kill the equivalent of 3 Recovery Girls to get through that game.
That is right. And then, we're last stat, Foundations destroyed. 22-7.
Every enhanced near enough, right? There was either a release or a self-sac, or every attack being played, there was either a release or a self-sacrifice being used. So between them, the players played 28 attacks, and between them, 29 foundations were destroyed. This is always like Recovery Girl does blow up 2 at a time for her ability, so this number is expected to be a bit high. Between this and the health gain, damage reduced, this was all variable stats that we were recording for this game.
This is the first time I've kind of looked at stats for a game, and I would quite like to see some stats of my own at some point. It's been good, definitely an exciting game.
Looking forward at some point doing round 2 with Tokiyami 1 and Deku 2.
Deku 2, so Deku 2 coming out roughly similar to Tetsu, similar playstyle. Tokiyami's my newest favourite.
Yeah. I think Tokiyami's on Chaos, and I believe the Deku deck's on Good. So it'll be a very similar list to the Tetsu.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and if you did, like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that usual YouTube stuff. Hopefully we'll be back soon with round 2.
Catch you guys later.